Nothing like a smooth transition into the midday. Be sure to tune to The Shift Monday to Friday at 12:30 p.m. with Joinae Gibson on Glory 93.9 FM. The freshest wave of glory to hit the Bahamas.
It's an amazing day here at Glory 93.9 FM. It's 12:30, so you know exactly what that means. You're tuned in, and of course, always locked and loaded on The Shift with yours truly. I'm so excited to be in your company today, and I want to share this encouragement with you. What's coming is better than what's been. Now, I heard this song maybe like, ugh, please don't ask me the artist, forgive me. But maybe about 2 weeks ago, and it started to really resonate in my spirit more and more each day, right? So I heard this about 2 weeks ago, but I started to think about it, and I know that it sounds cliche. I know that it sounds like something that you've heard before, but I want to say to you, what's coming is better than what's been. We are in one of those seasons where everything seems so uncertain. It seems like, 1 minute everything can be fine, and within that same minute, everything can go wrong. And it can cause you to doubt the promise. It can cause you to doubt the future. As a matter of fact, there is a scripture in Romans 8:18 that says, the sufferings, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time cannot be compared or worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us. In other words, what's happening right now, that suffering right now, the suffering in this present time cannot be compared with what will be revealed in the future. If you're listening today, maybe you're finding yourself in some kind of struggle. Maybe you're finding yourself in some sort of difficult situation, and it can be so confusing. I know I'm not where I used to be. I know I'm not, nowhere near where I should be, but where I'm at right now it's a little difficult. And I want to say that it simply is an indication that you are no longer comfortable in what's familiar. You're no longer comfortable in the routine, because you haven't fully stepped into what was promised. I want to say to you listening today, things feel quiet. Things feel stretched. Things feel unclear. Maybe you may be feeling it financially. Maybe you'll be feeling it. Hey, Colin, you may be feeling it spiritually. You may be feeling it socially, even emotionally and mentally. But I want to say to you that what's coming, it's better than what's been. Yes, I know. And this can go either way, right? Because you can say what was really good. You know, those people, before they give their life to Jesus, they was just living their best life, whatever they needed, however, how much ever they wanted to spend. We always hear those stories and those testimonies, and maybe that is yours. But I want you to think about the other aspect of it, where maybe you didn't have everything in the past. You didn't have everything that you wanted. You weren't able to spend as much as you wanted to spend. But could I tell you, whichever side of the spectrum you fall on, what's coming is better than what's been. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time cannot be compared. They're not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed. Could I tell you that this season, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me. Listen, this season, there is one word for it, and it is transition. You know how every day when we intro this show, we say nothing like a smooth transition into the midday. Listen, nothing about this transition currently is smooth. Yeah, help me, Holy Ghost, right? But the word for this season for you, and well, I know it for me, can be transition. Transition is the space between endings and arrivals. Transition is the space between endings and arrivals. It is that weird middle ground that you haven't quite figured out yet. It is that weird middle ground that you're trying to, navigate, trying to not lose your head, my boss will say you got to hold your head. You have to literally hold your head in this transition. Every step, every decision, every contract, every agreement, every new opportunity, every new door, all of these things are coming together as a transition. It is the space between the end and the arrival. So it's not quite where you used to be, but it's not quite where you should be. But because you are so far from what you used to be and not so close to where you should be, it puts you in a weird predicament because I want to move further. I know that I can't look back. I know that I'm far away or maybe not as close as I would like to be to what's coming, but I am feeling discouraged. I am feeling weary. I am feeling the pinch. And listen, if it's anything like these gas prices, Holy Ghost, and I rest my case, Holy Ghost and fire. But I want to say to you today that your word for this season is transition. It is that awkward moment, that awkward stage where your baby doesn't really look like a baby anymore, but they're not fully a toddler. Yeah, that. And I want to encourage you that although in the in-between, although in the middle of this transition, I know it can be, very discomforting. I know that it can be very difficult. But if you see things are unfamiliar right now, if your present feels heavier than your past, I want you to be reminded of the scripture in Romans 8. It says the sufferings of this present time cannot be compared to the glory that shall be revealed. I want to say to you, what's coming is better than what's been. That's my word to you today, shifters. I need you to get locked in. I need you to like and share this live broadcast. I want you to tag someone in the comment section. Let them know we are live. We are locked and loaded. And I just, after coming after a long holiday, catch me in the spirit, a long holiday, I'm so excited to be in your company today. Of course, every Monday through Friday, same time, same place, favorite station, with your favorite person right here on Glory FM. I want to make sure that you know that we are live on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I don't know why I'm going to add something else onto that just now. Maybe that's my indication to add something else. Okay, so please jump in the comment section. Let me know that you are here. Hey, Colin, I see you. Hey, Bianca. Oh, God. If y'all see me squinting, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to see. Glinton, hey, nice to see you. I'm so excited for today's conversation, right? So before I move any further, I have to say thank you for all of the faithful shifters. I recently had an assignment at Agape Church, right? And I met some shifters in the parking lot, y'all. And listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for your listening ear and your unwavering, undying support. You always tell me how you're tuned in when you are, picking your children up or picking your daughter up. I want to say thank you so much for your listening ear. Now, today's topic is a part of a series. We started this year, the series Standing on Business. Today's topic is Standing on Business, Friendship Edition. Like I mentioned, we started this series earlier this year, and we talked about that, standing on business is no longer or not just a phase or a cliche, but it is a commitment to enforce what we believe, a commitment to enforce boundaries without guilt. Thank you, Colin. Thank you. I appreciate that, right? feel free to comment, right? So, we enforce those boundaries without guilt. We, believe in ourselves even when we felt uncomfortable. We made that commitment to choose growth over familiarity, to choose discipline over excuses, and peace over people pleasing. Hear me. It's spiritual. It's checking in with yourself. It's strengthening your faith. It's protecting yourself. All of these things we talked about, on I want to say around January of this year. And so today we're going to continue that series, but I wanted to take a different perspective from the friendship side. We are living, and I believe this, we are living in an age where friendship, true friendship, authentic friendship feels so rare, right? We see friendships, they fall apart. We see people turning on each other for money, for fame, or just because of jealousy. We, see cases where friends are leading each other in harmful situations. I spoke about this before here on the shift, where there was a group of friends, and it's public news, a group of friends, they had some kind of girls trip, and one of the young ladies died. No one really can understand what happened, but there's a lot of questions in that story. But anyway, I think about my mom and how she has, friendships from forever, 30 plus years. And that kind of longevity, I want to add, it doesn't come just casually. It comes with consistency. It comes with care. It comes with grace. It comes with accountability. It comes with all of those things. And in many ways, I feel that our friendships as of late have become rooted in, what's transactional, what this person or I can benefit from this person. And don't get me wrong, I do understand that there is an expectation of, give, take, etc. But I feel that when that's the only foundation of the friendship, it becomes a little tricky. I want to start by this, just really setting the foundation. We see in scripture friendships like David and Jonathan. We see Ruth and Naomi. We see Jesus and his disciples. We see Paul and Timothy. We see Job and mentions his friends. But I begin to do a study with Mel Robbins, and she talks about how there are 3 pillars of every adult friendship. 1 being proximity, 2 being timing, and 3 being energy. And we're going to go into that in a few, but I want to really set a foundation of what is a friend, or what is friendship? What does friendship mean to you? And I want to hear from you in the comment section. If you're tuned in, oh my word, how could I forget? If you're tuned in via Glory 93.9 FM, please know the call and text lines, they're open. The call line is 242-827-2543. And of course, the text line is 242-817-2544. Again, if you are tuned in via Glory 93.9 FM, maybe not able to go on Facebook or TikTok, you can use the text line. The text line today is 242-817-2544. So call in says, yes, proximity, timing, and energy. This is good. No, seriously, most adult friendships depend on those 3 things: proximity, timing, and energy. So I want to give you what Mel Robbins mentioned, and then we're going to go into really defining what friendship is. So proximity. In high school, in primary school, you are around those friends all day, every day. You see them, you go to classes with them, you ask them about homework, etc. So automatically they quote unquote become your friends because of proximity. Then 2, timing. So everyone, let's say, if you take that example, okay, I'm always around these group of people, so we automatically become friends. Take that into the workspace. You are around your coworkers, you are around your bosses every day, 8 hours plus for some persons, right? And you are not always friends with your coworkers. And hear me. And that is simply because everyone is at a different space or stage in their life. So it speaks to the timing. Some may just be getting married. Some may have been in marriage for a very long time. Some may be trying to go off to school or, do something different with their lives. Some may have children, some may have different priorities. So the timing or the season of those group of persons, their lives don't line up with your life. So although we have proximity, although we're around each other every day or almost every day for numerous hours, it does not mean that we will align as friends simply because we're in two totally or different seasons or different timelines in our lives. The third one is energy. And I want to say, she mentioned energy, but I want to say interest. If I am a Christian and I am interested in the things of God, I'm interested in church, I'm interested in praise and worship. If I find a friend that, we share that mutual, thing where, okay, they enjoy church, they enjoy etc. But if for some reason that person falls off, then that interest doesn't align or the energies don't align. In the same way, if when you gave your life to God or you used to drink, you used to smoke, you used to go to the club, when you used to do those things, there were a group of friends who were good for that. And, you need at least one or two unsafe friends. One or two, right? Don't judge me, right? So you have those people, but when you move into a different interest, let's say you start going to the gym or you start going to do some kind of therapy or, some kind of group, maybe a book club, you start to you start to become friends with other group of people because your interests are aligned. So those are the three things that can be your pillars in adult relationships. Hey, Kev, it's been a minute. Yes. You got to get back on track. So today we're talking Standing on Business Friendship Edition. Now, I just paraphrased basically Mel Robbins' theory, right? And that's fine. And I agree. But I feel that it's necessary for us to really understand what friendship is. And I love a good definition. A voluntary friendship is a voluntary relationship between people built on mutual trust, care, respect, and shared emotional connection, where both individuals support and value one another without, watch this, obligation or control. Take full control. Burn Holy Ghost. Sorry. Right? So, friendship, a voluntary relationship between two people built on mutual trust, care, respect, and shared emotional connection. Tell me your definition of what friendship really is. Now, this is standard textbook. And, it covers most, but I want to hear your thoughts. What is friendship to you? Okay, I have an anonymous texter that says, "Hey Joinae, I am excited for today's topic. I feel that friendship is simply a mutual relationship that can happen between male or female that somehow along the lines benefit each other." Okay, that's kind of clear. Okay, I can go with that. Please tell me your definition of friendship. I want to hear. I want to hear. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Hey, Frankie. Okay, so we've already defined what friendship is. Now let's really look at what a healthy friendship is. A relationship where both people experience mutual respect, we see this, honesty, encouragement, and emotional safety. If we're honest, we're not emotionally safe most of the time, but all right. Each person can grow, set boundaries, be authentic, and feel supported without the fear of manipulation or competition. Have you ever been around a friend or a group of people, maybe friend for lack of better description, right? But a group of people where you cannot be yourself? Where you have to literally reel in parts of your personality to not seem dramatic or to not seem overbearing or to not seem bougie or to not seem extra or to not seem away. Have you ever been around a group of people or a particular person that will make you feel uncomfortable for being yourself? Maybe it is the way you, like when they deal with the way you dress or the way you speak or the way you carry yourself. Have you ever been around that kind of person? Now, listen, I can testify where there are times that I literally had to reel in my personality because it can be a lot. It can be too much. And that is one of the signs of an unhealthy friendship, right? And I have it termed here or labeled here as toxic, right? A relationship characterized by imbalance, manipulation, disrespect, emotional harm, hear me, where one or both of the individuals consistently drain, undermine, or negatively affect the other's well being rather than contribute to their growth. Now, if you're honest, there are some family relationships that are like this. We're talking about friendships today, but I just wanted to add that in there because there is a major imbalance, manipulation, disrespect, emotional harm on both ends that are causing our relationships not to last. I started to ask myself the question, why mommy and daddy and auntie those have those long lasting relationships and it's difficult for us to maintain relationships maybe for a year or for 2 years without someone having an issue, without there being some blow up, without there being some, anyway. Kev says, a healthy friendship is one that allows you to be yourself, grow, but will also correct as needed. I agree. Hey, Jay, I've been thinking about you. Shifters, say hello to Jay Todd. Oh man, you were here in the Bahamas and I miss you, Nassau. I miss you. I was off the island. Please forgive me. I pray that all is well and I'm going to be in touch in a few. Please look out for a message from me. I absolutely so excited to see you. Okay, anonymous texter, could you? Okay, I can't even call you anonymous texter. Faithful shifter, you know exactly what you sent me. Could you send that to my next number? I can't get in WhatsApp. I am Mr. Todd. I'm gonna put this on the screen so that we have record. J. Dodd says, I gotta come back. Let's do something. Definitely. I'm gonna hold you to that. Definitely. I'm so glad to hear from you. And I pray that today's conversation helps you as well. I want to even tie in how or really talk about the misconceptions of friendship. So I talked about the definition. I talked about toxic. I talked about healthy, but I feel that there are a few misconceptions that we have about friendship, and I want to get that message in before. Okay, TikTokers, give me one moment. Let me get this. Yes, 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 anonymous texter. Yes, I love this. Okay, so another part of this that I want to hone in on is some of the misconceptions that we have about friendships. We believe, or most persons believe, that real friends don't change. We believe that, this person, the way we met them is the way they should continue to be, when life is not that way. Friendships evolve as people grow. Who I was at 15, I'm not at the age that I am now. Change doesn't always mean betrayal, but it can represent development. And I think that we should give each other space for that. I feel that we get confused in this area, and there are so many misconceptions about friendships is simply because we refuse to compartmentalize. We refuse to divide who should be where. So we're labeling people who have proximity. We're labeling people who may be on our Facebook or on our TikTok or on any social media platform or have some kind of proximity to us, that they're automatically in that friendship group. Compartmentalize is defined as to divide, separate, or categorize thoughts, emotions, or aspects of life into distinct, isolated parts to prevent from influencing one, oh God, or another, right? I'm multitasking between Facebook and TikTok, so y'all please forgive me, right? So because we refuse to compartmentalize, because we refuse to divide, is the reason why our friendships don't last, or we think they don't last. There are people that have gained proximity or have access to us, because of mutual place. Maybe it's church, maybe it's work, maybe it's some kind of organization that you are a part of. And we automatically put them in the friendship group, and we expect loyalty, we expect longevity, we expect this relationship to be mutually beneficial. But the truth of the matter is, we haven't put them in the right category in our lives. So I mentioned earlier, there are some misconceptions. And the first one is simply that real friends never change. The second one, and all of these happen when you compartmentalize, you understand these more and more, right? Two, if we are friends, we'll always agree. If we're friends, we'll always agree. Now, Colin mentioned it earlier. I think it was Colin or Kev that mentioned it earlier, where they define friendship as, we're respect each other, we encourage each other, and if something is wrong, you correct or you say. True friendship or healthy friendships allow disagreement. You and I can disagree and not hate each other. You and I can disagree and it not be some kind of big thing. I feel that when we go into friendships, or we're going to say, this person is our friend, or we're building that friendship, we need to know, listen, you and I have two different minds. You and I have two different perspectives. And I think about, in particular, one of my friends, listen, she is brilliant. When I say brilliant, brilliant. And let me tell you about this particular scenario. We were talking, right? We were talking, and she was just talking about the same subject, sort of, being able to compartmentalize and, knowing where to put people, and how two things can be true at once. How, someone can be mean, vindictive, and all of those other negative traits, but still have some good in them. And my perspective was, listen, if they show me they mean, vindictive, or any negative trait, I'm cutting them off. And her point to me was like, Joinae, you have to get out of that mindset. Correction now. You have to get out of that mindset, because if that's the case, then you'll never build relationships with people, or you'll never have lasting relationships with people every time they show a negative trait. Because the reality is, most persons have some sort of negative trait. You just need to decide, again, here's that compartmentalizing. You need to decide, okay, I know how far to go with this person. I know how much to do with this person. I know what to allow with this person. Friendship doesn't mean constant access. It doesn't mean constant access. If you are dealing with that person that feels that, listen, if you and I are friends, I need access to you every day, all day, listen. Most of my true friends can tell you, if you send her a message, she could take long. If you need to reach her, just call. It's cheaper, you call. Again, I have friends that if I call them, they're not going to answer the phone. Chances are they're busy. Chances are they're working. Chances are something is going on, right? But that doesn't mean that we're not friends. Okay. Another misconception is that longevity equals loyalty. I want to stick a pin right here. If you are honest, and we're still talking about standing on business, we're still talking about friendship edition. I want y'all to hear me good. Longevity, this is a misconception. Longevity equals loyalty. I want to pause. A few days ago, some days ago, we just celebrated Holy Week, right? And we talk about how Judas betrayed Jesus. And I want you to think about the longevity of Judas. He was there with the disciples, always around, always have access to Jesus, always had proximity, but it doesn't mean that he was loyal. Knowing someone for a long time does not automatically mean the relationship or that, however, is healthy or aligned with your current season. And I'm going to say that again. Knowing someone for a long time does not automatically mean the relationship is healthy or aligned for your life or this current season of your life. Because we, again, and I keep going back to this, but because we refuse to compartmentalize, because we refuse to have that distinct or that separation on the people in our lives and how far they should go, we assume, watch this, and it's tricky, and I want to hear your opinion as well, but we assume that because someone has been around for a long time, they're aligned with your current life now. If you are honest, there are some people that have been in your life for a very long time, and you've been having those thoughts of, well, I don't know how to get rid of this person. This person, I can't get rid of them because they've been faithful, they've been loyal, or they've been present. They showed up to my wedding. They showed up to this. They showed up to that. But it doesn't equal loyalty, because that person being around, I know it, and I don't want this to come off wrong, but that person being around, just like Judas, may not be for good reasons. Maybe they could be monitoring your life. Maybe they could just want to, those people who can, I don't want to say see your future, but they have an idea of where God is going to take you or how your life is going to pan out. So they attach themselves for that benefit. Colin says, and this is so true, Colin, and I think we're all guilty of it at some point in our lives. Colin says, I used to struggle with that and always felt like that I had an obligation to those people, and it drained me. Agreed, because we sort of take on this burden that, well, this person has always been there for me. This person helped me, boom, boom, boom. Or this person helped me in the roughest season of my life. Or this person helped me to navigate. And we feel obligated. We feel, you know something, Crystal? You're right, because I could feel it. I could feel it getting tight because it's quiet. It's all right, though. So you sort of feel that duty. You feel that duty to remain. You feel that duty. And you know something? Even, and this is something that I've experienced, even when you say, okay, well, I no longer feel that duty. Okay, yes, you've been around for a long time. Yes, you know me from Jabim, but I don't feel obligated to explain. I don't feel obligated to share parts of my life with you just because you have been around for a long time. They will start a smear campaign. They will go to every person in their friend group and paint you out to be the monster or the villain in that situation. They will when I say real smear campaign, they will call you everything but a child of God, simply because they want to keep that attachment, simply because they want to keep that proximity or that access that they no longer have. And they believe, and you have to even consider, you know, the areas of your life where you feel that because you've been around someone for long, because you've been around this person for so long, that you are automatically privileged to have certain information. And Colin says you have to have those honest conversations. No, really. Crystal says, stay right there. No, really, people, they will start a whole smear campaign. They will demonize you, literally. You will be the chief demon in their story, because they feel that because they've been around so long, because you've been around so long, because you know me since I was 10, because we went to primary school together, because we went to high school together, that this automatically gives you some sort of gold member card to my life. And it's these same people that once some sort of conflict comes up, some sort of disagreement comes up, they quickly go in defense mode and quickly start to bring up past situations. I have to define this. And I'm taking my time because I really need you to understand how serious you have to be this year and moving forward, standing on business, friendship edition. I don't want you to just stand on business when it comes to, you know, your business or your family, etc. But I want you to stand on business even with your friendship. I mentioned a phrase earlier, the smear campaign. A smear campaign is a planned, malicious effort to destroy a person's or the organization's reputation using lies and misinformation and gossip. Okay. This is usually done by narcissists. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. They will use lies, misinformation. As a matter of fact, they will go as far as, like, they will try to target your, hear me, your loyal friend or the person that they know really like standing on business for you, and they would try to cause them to turn on you. And if you don't have an awareness to see what's happening and what game is being played, you will fall right into the trap. So it leads me back to my original point. Hey, Javante, it leads me back to my original point. Longevity does not equal loyalty. Good day, Fancy Face. How you doing? Longevity does not mean that you have access. Longevity does... Anyway, again, it goes back to placing persons in the right categories. And this is something that I struggled with because I figured if I labeled you as a friend, if you get everything, you get every part of me. Oh, yes. We're back up we're back up on TikTok. I'm in and out of apps. Please forgive me. Thank you so much, Javante. Right? So let me move on to my next point. Conflict. This is a misconception. Conflict means that the friendship is over. I'm going to go through these very quickly. Support always looks like agreement. The same friend that I was talking about earlier, I told her, I said, man, listen, I don't want to do this. It was something that was presented to me, and I said, listen, I don't want to do this. I feel like, whatever decision I make, you need to agree with me because you's my friend, you on my side. And she said, well, Joinae, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, whatever decision you decide to make, that won't change anything. But I don't think that this is something that you should do. I don't think your thoughts are good. I feel like you're freaking out. I feel like you overthinking it. I feel like, and she went down the list of, and when you're wrong because you go quiet. I went quiet because she was right. And support and being a true friend doesn't mean that you agree with everything that person is saying. Colin, you right on it. I feel like a Scotch record. I feel like I've been saying that so much because that's the main word. Compartmentalize. Colin says, I've learned that not all friendships deserve every part of you. Each one is compartmentalized. But the thing is this, you can't have someone in level 1 or compartment 1 of friendship expecting level 5. And you can't have someone in level 5 giving level 1. Another misconception that we have is that friendship is effortless. It requires no energy. It requires no intentionality. It requires no dying of oneself. It requires no letting go of pride or whatever. But we believe that friendship is just, something? I thank you, Holy Ghost. The reason that we are not fruitful in our friendships, the reason that friendships don't last is simply because we have a limited understanding or limited knowledge on what friendship really is. No one really teaches about friendship. We all just say from primary school, this is your friend, they're in your class, you share your lunch, this person is your friend. We run together on the playground, this is your friend. But it doesn't go beyond that stage. We believe that if the friend doesn't show up to every birthday party, if the friend doesn't show up with a gift, if the friend doesn't reply to your WhatsApp the moment that you send it or answer the call, answer the phone every time you call that person is not a friend, because our understanding and knowledge is so limited. And the Bible is true, we are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Because you don't know, you can't do better. So you have this air about you that person should be friends with you when you're not even a good friend, when you don't even understand what the definition of friendship truly is, when you don't even understand your morals, when you don't understand what you believe or who you want to be, which is why we have so much jealousy and so much envy in friendships, because people haven't even discovered who they are as yet. So you can have a friend that's ambitious. You can have a friend that, listen, I have a friend, she could do, when I say she could do anything, she could do anything she puts her mind to, and she will tell you it. She can do anything. Does that intimidate me? No, it inspires me. Well, listen, if she could do it, I could do it. Somebody say, you all right because you snapping. No, seriously. Because we, and I have to give both sides, because I don't want you to think that, okay, I'm just listing all of these things of what friendship is not, and I'm not giving that. You cannot expect to be treated in a level 5 when your mindset is only level 1. When anytime we start to talk about business, or we start to talk about growing, or we start to talk about, evolving or expanding our vocabulary. Listen, my friend, the amount of books she didn't tell me to read, amount of podcasts we listen to, you would think that, everything on TikTok, it's some kind of information about something. Because my friends understand the trajectory of my life and know that anything contrary to that will be hindering it. So if you have that friend that every time you go to work, they don't want you to go to work, they don't want you to spend time with your family. Anyway. Friendships, you gotta have some categories. And I learned this the hard way. So don't mind me talking. I learned this. I learned this the hard way. Yeah, we don't talk. Right. Inner circle, close friends, social friends, seasonal connections, and assignments. I just gave you level. How much that is? 1, 2, 3, 5. Inner circle, that's the trusted voices. That's the persons that can get the truth out of you. And when I say the truth, don't judge me. I'm going to tell the truth, right? But the level of truth depends on the level friend. So level 5, this is my 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Level 5 will get me snotty, tears, the stories that people don't know, the things that I can't say around people or a group of people that will or who have perceived me in a way. Level 5, close friends, social friends. Close friends, cool, we could hang. Colin says, that's it for you. Inner circle is like subscription, no, for real, members only, right? Then you have your social friends. Those people you just like to be around. Their personality. I met a friend maybe, I want to say a year, 2 years ago. And when I say her personality is intoxicating, like jokes for days, we take it nothing serious. But there are certain things that I know that I can't take to her, and that's fine. We know, but when we link up, it's our kiki. we can laugh, right? Cool. Then seasonal connections. This is the one I had difficulty with because, and it goes back to, the length of time equaling loyalty. And there were people that were meant to be seasonal connections that I was trying to make them inner circle trusted voices. And it backfired on me. I'm going to leave that alone. Then there are assignments. Assignments are the people sent to teach you lessons. Jessica Sims says same. And then people that you were sent to teach lessons. We always believe that the person that we help or the person that has helped us should be in our lives forever. We believe that once they teach us something, and there is a way that you can move on and still appreciate or be grateful for the impact that this person or this group of people may have had in your life, and cool. But when it's time to move on, that relationship is going to start to feel so mentally taxing because you won't agree. You won't. You everything about that relationship is going to become difficult and it's going to feel forced. Our time is almost come and gone, but I want to share this with you. Let me tell you why when you do not compartmentalize, when you mislabel people, it causes hurt simply because you have unrealistic expectations. You expect loyalty from someone who never held that role. 2, you over-invest emotionally. It's called emotional overinvestment. You give deep access to surface level connections. 3, you have weak boundaries. The wrong label removes necessary limits too soon. So where you should keep that limit, because your boundaries are so weak, you drop them automatically when someone starts smiling or they say the right thing or they do the right thing for you. I think I'm on number 4. Perceived rejection. Normal behavior feels personal because expectations were higher. I'm going to say that again. Perceived rejection. Normal behavior feels personal when or because expectations were higher. So that person who really wants to be in your inner circle, wants to be level 5, wants to have subscription, but because you've been handling them so normal, they feel rejected or they feel like, okay, you don't want to be my friend or you don't want to be close to me kind of thing. Okay. Why mislabeling people causes hurt? I think on number 5, delayed maturity. Growth requires correctly identifying people's roles. Because you lack maturity or because your maturity is delayed, you take a minute to correctly identify people's roles. Lastly, and I'm going to get to some comments in a few, unnecessary heartbreak. Sometimes there was no betrayal, only misidentification. No one betrayed you. What you called it, you just misidentified someone and put them in the wrong category. Good day, Dr. Burrows. Okay. Jessica Sims. Oh, man. Listen, trust me. She says, you're preaching to me and now I'm so guarded. Listen, I want to help you really navigate that, because there's a thin line between, you know, she said, Mom, you're talking to me today and I'm so ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Trust me. I'm speaking from experience. And what can be tricky, because it can sort of make you feel paranoid, where you always feel on edge, where you always feel like someone is out to get you, or you always feel like someone is going to do something. Someone is going to do something to betray your trust, or you're going to, open up your heart. But I feel that one of the main ways to help with that is through discernment. When you, and not only that, and we're going to get to the next part in a few, but when you start to discern correctly and enforce your boundaries, a lot of the times when people do things to us that we say, betrayal, or they do whatever, we know, we expect it. There was that gut feeling that we ignored. There was that something that we ignored that later down the line we paid for, right? So the first thing I would recommend is discernment. The second thing that I would recommend is, and what we talked about today, is compartmentalizing. Don't be so guarded that it closes the level 5 people off, and you so busy trying to get rid of the level 1, so to speak, right? Because this is something that happened to me. Because I became extremely guarded, because I, had a million walls and electric fence and barbed wire and motion sensors, sprinklers, landmine, everything before you could actually get to any part of me. It repelled the people that should be connected to me, or the people that I would need to get me to the next level. It repelled them away from me. And, we like to say that, people should just accept us for the way we are, and et cetera, like that. But discernment plays a major role in that as well. No, and trust me, this is what's going to help you. You have to trust your gut. That's your discernment. Trust your gut. Know that there is a thin line between paranoia and discernment. Be sure that this. I'm not responding to this person based on a past trauma or a past difficult situation, but I am responding because I've seen this before and I know what can happen. Once you set that boundary, once you enforce those boundaries, once you use your discernment, you will know exactly where to put people, how far they should go, how much they should get, and you should be just all right. And it requires some self-talk. It requires some, looking at the man in the mirror. It requires, a lot. And it's not going to happen overnight. That's okay. But the truth of the matter is, you have to stand on business. If you are going to be someone that's a good friend, if you're going to be someone that wants to attract good friends, you got to do the internal work. You have to do the internal work. Colin says, I was about to say that setting the right boundaries will filter people right into the right compartments. Once you do that, you should be smooth sailing. Well, shifters, our time has come and gone, but it's not your only opportunity to join me every Monday through Friday, same time, same place, favorite station with your favorite person. please be sure to like and share the show. Share it everywhere. We are live every Monday through Friday. Please let them know the shift is on. Jessica, I completely understand. I understand. I want to leave you with this. Standing on business when it comes to friendships isn't about going or searching or begging for people to be your friends or for people to stay in your life. It's about adopting and really shifting to that mindset of maturity and understanding that everyone should not be called friend and every friend does not belong in the same category. Some people are connected to your life for a season, some to your assignment, and some for a lifetime. It is understanding those shifts, understanding those times, understanding those people, growing and maturing. It's going to help you stand on business for this friendship edition. Until next time, please keep it locked and always loaded. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Wake up in the morning, I'm blessed, I'm still here. Commanding my day and speak to it through prayer. He's the God of my day, God of my day, God of my day. He's the God of my day, He's the God of my day, God of my day, God of my day. He's the God of my day. Some people wait until something happens, then they start praying that it isn't so. What if you did things different? Can you imagine the favor that follows wherever you go? My prayer is not based on my day now. My day is based on my prayer. By grace, He has everything I say now. He is good. My prayer is not based on my day now. My day is based on my prayer. So even if it doesn't go my way now, He is good. He is good. He is good. He is good. Wake up in the morning, I'm blessed. I'm still here. Commanding my day and speak to it through prayer. He's the God of my day, God of my day, God of my day.